Hi, this is Cleaver Sausage, and this is just basically a introduction to verify that I am a registered minister with this online site. I'm in the database, Missionary Chapel and Seminary. Yeah, that's me on the left here. I'm dressed up in a monkey suit. Got the moustache and beard. I kind of tidy, don't you reckon? Yeah, I registered apparently in July 9th, 2019. Wasn't really too sure on the name of the church I wanted to use. I was looking at church, and I thought, oh no, I don't really want church. It's common. Then I thought I couldn't change it. I thought I'd put the new church of MarYah Ysho, Msheekah, but I couldn't change it, but I hadn't. I'd put something else. I've just recently changed it to the Real Truth Congregational. Yeah, still kind of undecided on the actual name, but I mean, I'm registered there. I'm in the database. I can pay so much for an ordained minister certificate if I wanted to, and etc. etc. But yeah, not at the moment, because there's a lot of courses they offer on here. Well, it's chapel and seminary, so yeah, you can course of baptism, weddings, and you're ordained just for the pieces. It's all there. So yeah, so it's all legit, all legal. It's all professional. It's not like the other one I joined where you get a certificate for $6. They put your name on it and all that sort of stuff, and go around boasting you're ordained. Yeah, that was a bit gimmicky one. They had no lessons. I like this one better. So I'm registered at 2. Actually, I'm registered at 3. Yeah, I've forgotten the other one online. Because at the time I thought I couldn't change my congregational name here, or church name, right? So I registered the New Truth on another site. I can't recall which one that was at the moment. Okay, but yeah, here's a pretty picture of me, all dressed up. Ordained July 9th, 2019. Okay, so it wasn't that long ago. And here's my location. I've blotted out my phone number and email. Yeah, I've changed the name to the Real Truth Congregation. Founded July 9th, 2019. I put a few comments here, like my actual website that I'm making at the moment on the Real Truth. You have an option here to call yourself a teacher, a minister, and so forth. I just chose Educator because in the Aramaic, that's what the young man stated to the Messiah when they're walking along the road. The rich man, young rich man, right? He's basically saying Educator, right? So rather than be rabbi, minister, pastor, all the common titles used, I chose Educator because I'm re-educating people, to the real truth. Okay, because what you actually have at the moment is Americanized versions of the Bible that the missionaries used in 1901. Right, they translated from their beloved King James version. It's very Shakespearean. They put their new version into palatable English of the time, right, and that's what they basically preached from in 1901. So all Bibles are basically copies from that American Bible, 1901, Americanized Bible. That's why I use the term the modernized or the modern Americanized Bibles, because that's what they are. They're copies of copies of copies of copies of copies. Go check out Bart de Ehrman, one of the top theologians. Someone said he was an atheist. It's like, well, I don't think so. He's agnostic. I've never seen any video where he comes out and says he's an atheist. I don't think his wife would be too happy with that, right? She could probably handle him being an agnostic, but I don't recall him saying he is an atheist. As someone tried to state, he's just not sure. Okay, because he states on one of his videos he believes that there was a man called Christ that existed in that time period, but he's very different from the Christ you have today. Okay, very, very different. Yeah, so that just verifies that I'm actually an ordained, registered minister. Okay, according to this site, right? I still got a lot to go back to and learn, perfect whatever through it, through the courses, free courses. So yeah, apparently you can register any church here as long as it's not too disgusting or satanic or pure evil. I guess you can put the Church of the Tomato Sauce if you wanted to. Becomes a registered church. You can go preach about the holy tomato sauce if that's what you like, or the holy peanut butter. Yeah, left a few comments here, like what it's about. Yeah, can't get this thing to move. Alright, anyway. I'm involved in talks, meetups, outings, Bible studies, research, and would like to involve others in these. I'm currently looking to create a new congregation never before seen in New Zealand or the world, one where all are welcome. It's all, regardless of race, colour, creed, religious belief system, sexual preference. Yeah, well, that one's a bit touchy there, I'm not too sure on that one because, okay, all have the right to hear the good news, the gospel of salvation, right? Everyone has the right to hear that, to come and listen in and critique it. Is it for them? Is it not? And then be able to freely leave and carry on. If someone who's like from the LGBT, is it how you say it? LGQ, lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, queer community, whatever you call it, LGBTQ. Wants to come in and have sit down and have a listen to the gospel and think, well, there's hope for them. They want to repent, whatever. But then they're open. Unfortunately, they've got alterations to their. They were born a male, but they've got alterations. Well, yeah, it's kind of touchy, But yeah, they're free to come and have a listen. Not going to get judged and you're going to hell and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, every word that I'm saying there, we all are welcome, regardless of race, colour, creed, religious belief system, sexual preference. Is yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Yeah, because everybody has the right to hear the gospel, decide if it's for them or not. Repent and carry on. Return the free gift of salvation and eternal life, right? Okay. Yeah, they shouldn't be able to, they're human beings. They're still human beings, and they shouldn't be getting crapped by other people from other denominations. Oh, look at that church, they got all the homosexuals and whatever, and because Christ himself was amongst the homosexuals and the perverts and the drunkards and all that, preaching, witnessing, whatever. And he'd probably say himself, it's for all mankind, because God, John 3:16, loved all the world, didn't just love a certain part of it or a certain breed of people, race of people. He went on the cross and died for all of you, everyone, yeah, anyway, so all are entitled to the free gift of salvation, as God loved all the world, as stated in John 3:16. Gave us only begotten Son for, because he loved man, he loved the world so much that he gave his only begotten Son. Doesn't it say that? So that's the whole world, not just this bit and that bit. Well, let's leave out those ones. It's for all. Just some people used it and abused it, and inflicted problems on other people for years and years. Okay, so yeah, I've created this website as well at Render Forest. I think they should have a dash in between that. RenderForestSites.com, the website I'm creating online in regards to a new title of a church I have registered elsewhere online as The New Truth, which reveals the real truth according to the original ancient manuscripts from the original disciple Thomas, given to the original Apostolic Orthodox Church of the East, right? Never been messed with, okay? They had it preserved for 2,000 years from the Roman Catholic Church. Okay, Yeah, well, you see, I previously registered as minister of the synagogue of MarYah Ysho, Msheekah in Aramaic, Jesus in English, way back in 2013, but today I'm back to change a few details. I've started a unique home-based congregation in Auckland, New Zealand, for all to freely attend. You, as an individual, as a human being, will have the right to think, to be able to think, to express what you think, voice your opinion, and be listened to and heard. Because a great listener is a person who's like shuts up and listens, right? You will be respected at all times, and if you become a member of the congregation and you suddenly feel you need to quit, leave us, there will be no pesky house visits and harassment, and you won't have to drink the Kool-Aid. Bit of humour there. Okay, and there's the copies of the supposed original manuscripts in Aramaic, the Galilean Aramaic from Victor N. Alexander, right? There's the icon. I'll go into detail about probably another video. There's the Old Testament. That's the original, what it looked like before he started adding some colour to it, I suppose. Victor Alexander. And then there's the one by Andrew Gabriel Roth from the Syriac, from the same Apostolic Orthodox Church of the East. Okay, he's using the original Syriac manuscripts, translating the original Khabbaris Codex, using the Syriac into English as well as other versions. Okay, this is what supposedly what, according to Time Life, is it Time magazine? They did a model, according to the where Christ was supposed to come from, that region, right, and come up with this photo. He looks kind of Neanderthal manish, and there's just the verse there about John 8:37, I think it is. Okay, so yeah. So that's just basically proof that I'm an registered ordained minister, and I have my own congregation. But yeah, I don't have any fans yet. Yeah, I haven't really gone out there in the world and tried to proselyte, tried to recruit. I also have a different approach. It's like I find most Christians, like hardcore Christians, like try to bash you, put it down your throat. Like a guy jumped out like Spider-Man and scared this lady and her husband or boyfriend that was walking with her. Said, "Mate, you're lucky I didn't smash all your teeth out." Give him a wife or girlfriend, whatever she was at the time, hell of a fright. He just leaped out like Spider-Man. So, oh, sorry about that. But he's like leaping out, going, "Oh, you're going to hell, you're going to burn," and all that. And plus, I think he had a child as well, walking with him. I was like, tone it down, man. Try a different approach. It's not how you approach people. If you want to win them over, you don't approach them like that. You understand? Try a different approach. That's what I do. It's like I go out there and I find people sitting on the street hungry with a sign, "Oh, we're hungry, we haven't got any food, whatever. Give us $1, that sort of thing." But then I found that these people were just like trying to collect money for drugs, alcohol, their addictions, right? So I thought, well, rather than give them coins and they go and do it, right? Feed their addiction. Well, what's that verse? Don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing, and that sort of thing. But I might be accountable for it, right? So I say give them food instead. Feed them. I'm not contributing to their drug habit or their alcohol addiction. I just feed them because that's what they basically are asking for food. One guy, I gave him $5 I met him before at an ATM, and he says, "Is that it?" I was like, "Well, you did ask for $5, and that's what you got, mate." It's like, "Oh, you could have gave me some more." No, bro. You asked for $5, and that's what you got. Because he would probably try to fleece me for $30-40. So you can go. Oh, he was on the glues, doing the glue, and the alcohols. Sorry, mate. I don't feed your addictions. If you want to feed your addictions, get a job. Build up your cash. I'm not your drug supplier or your bank account, your banker or your cash cow. So that's basically proof. I'm using that as evidence that I registered, right? Okay. So here's my little website that I'm creating. Okay. At renderforest.com. Know the real truth, and that real truth will set you free. Okay. Because if you don't know the truth, you're masquerading, you're in a facade, thinking that you're free, when you're actually not. You're under the dictation of an organised religion, right? Be it Christianity or Islam, whatever, right? And they're telling you what it's all about. You're not allowing you at some points. They're not allowing you to, look at it yourself and study it yourself, and then come up with your own understanding, your perceptions, your views, opinions, whatever, And then if you suddenly leave, they want to whip you, beat you, or threaten you, or defame you, or whatever. Well, this is completely different. Like if you became a member and you decide, oh, it's not for me, or you can leave anytime you like. Look, they come around, hassle and say, hey, why didn't you, the devil's got you, all that sort of stuff. Feel sorry that they're gone, and still worry about them if they need help. Out there, still give them a hand, but you can come and visit them sometimes, but don't be constantly in their face, right? Because if you visit, apparently according to scripture, if you visit someone's house more than 3 times, they start getting annoyed, they maybe want to smack you over, get angry at you. There's people like to be left alone, something like that. Okay, this is the original Church of the East, Apostolic Orthodox Catholic Church of the East. They had nothing to do with the Roman Catholics, so they say. They don't worship Mary, It's Catholic means universal. So that's the photos of those people at the original church, right? Of that church in Edessa or in modern Turkey, right? And there's a Syriac font from Andrew Gabriel Roth's website. This thing's not behaving, doesn't want to move. Okay, it's a Syriac font because he's translated from the Syriac Peshitta, and I will ask from Abi, my father, he'll give you another Pharaoh Khalifa advocate who will be with you forever. So you got these, it's Yukahanan, it's John 14:16, Aramaic English New Testament by Andrew Gabriel Roth. So Islam is I can't remember his name. He's an imam. He said in the original language, Aramaic, it states that it's talking about Muhammad, right? When he said, I'll send you another, an advocate who will be with you forever. Well, it's obviously not Muhammad, because he's not with us forever, right? He's talking about the Holy Spirit, Ruach HaKodesh, right? He goes and he sends the Spirit, which filled Peter and the other apostles, right? And people remark, well, what are they doing speaking in our languages? Aren't they Galileans? They're speaking all different kinds of languages, speaking in tongues, right? Not going gobbity like what's his name, B.T. Bishop, or his name is T.D. Bishop Jakes, or what's his name? I can't remember his name. Something Jakes. Yeah, I can't remember his name. Big black preacher. T.D. Jakes, I think that's his name. Let's get jibbity. He's just making it up. Because what's that verse like? God gives you a prophecy, but you've got to have someone to interpret it. If there's no one to interpret it, then it's not valid or something like that. There's no one to translate it, interpret it. Anyway, I look like that T.D. Jakes guy was just going jibbity, trying to impress trying to fool the church, all that sort of stuff. Speaking in other languages, that's what it's referring to, because they say, oh yeah, we are, that's our languages. How come they're Galileans speaking Greek, speaking whatever, how could this be? That sort of thing. Anyway, so basically, this is a site I'm creating. Bit of humour there. Monty Python Life of Brian. People get all mad at it because it's like, but it's a what if? What if the 3 wise men went to the wrong house, got it wrong? Yeah, bit of humour. Well, they're part Jewish anyway, so they can get away with it, I suppose. Got a bit of Jewish in each of them, possibly. Okay, so know the real truth, and that real truth will set you free. Okay, once you're aware of it, what will we as a congregation, or the new truth congregation, will bring you? You can expect to be welcomed into a both positive and friendly environment. All are welcome, regardless of race, colour, gender, creed, belief, opinion and views. as all are entitled to hear the real truth about the scriptures. Our discussions and gatherings are filled with truth, peace and love. Our readings are inspiring messages about the truth of the scriptures and more. Okay, whether it's the truth, the real truth, or it's totally bogus, right? That's what we look into. Okay, and honesty is our best policy. Therefore, we swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay, so if you catch us out, well, we'll say sorry. Okay, we were wrong there. And remember, to err is human, but to forgive is divine. We all make mistakes. Okay, topics of interest. Watch our past discussions, video lessons, or join our live streams when available. Yeah, but yellow belly chicken to do live streams at the moment because I don't want to get on there and like dead air, you know. Then hear crickets in the background because I don't really know what to talk about, you know. Yeah, okay, so got communion, MarYah Ysho, Msheekah. It's Jesus the Messiah. His name was never Jesus in the ancient manuscripts, right? Or the Christ, or Lord. There was never the name God found in the Aramaic and the Hebrew, right? Always came, like he came in the title, because right? God only had a title, didn't have a name, right? And later on, okay, with the Hebrew they might have a describing name, you know, his character, right? But look at it, the Jews today, they won't say his name, his original name, right? They say it's too sacred to call upon, so they call him Hashem. Okay. MarYah Ysho, Msheekah's Last Supper should not be only an expression of worship for believers, but a practice meant to be observed over and over throughout the life of a Msheekah. You probably don't know how that word is. Okay, it's Aramaic for a follower, the follower of the Msheekah, or Msheekah, the Messiah. Okay, so that's what I call myself. I don't say I got nothing against Christians or that name or whatever like that, but that's like the disciples wouldn't use the name Christian, which the Romans gave them, meaning slaves to the Christus, or Christos in the Greek, right? And they didn't want anything to do with them. They were pagan. You know, they weren't allowed to associate with them, you know, dine with them, wash with them, whatever, you know, hang out with them. Yeah, that's why I think the centurion was came across, or Peter came across a centurion that wanted to convert to the faith, and like, you know, we're not even supposed to be anywhere around you, you know, not supposed to associate with you, all this sort of stuff. But it was part of a vision of, you know, that he was told, go and meet this guy at so and so's house. Yeah, after he saw the table come down with the cloth on it and the animals, and either the angel or the Spirit of God or God himself said, you can take these animals now and eat them because they've all been made clean by God, right? And she says, oh no way I can do that, because he was into the kosher, you know. I've never eaten those kind of animals, blah blah blah. And the Spirit kept telling him, you know, take, kill and eat, right? They're all been cleaned by God, they're all made clean. You see, that's in the New Testament, right? So all this Old Testament non-pork eating and stuff is like, is according to that New Testament, it's over, right? You're not held accountable for eating that. But yeah, don't. Yeah, there's some certain rules, that Old Testament rules they follow. But don't. No major harm to the animal. Be humane, you know. And all these rituals to do with it, you know, the bloodletting or whatever. And no drinking the blood, yeah, having a bloody meat, raw meat, that sort of thing. Anyway, yeah, it should be a holy time of worship when all corporately come together as one body to remember and celebrate what MarYah Ysho and Msheekah did for all. Yeah? Denominations are stumbling blocks. They certainly are. Teaching doctrines based on their own understanding instead of allowing Scripture to speak for itself. And there's the verse there, this people draw near to me with their mouth and respect me with their lips, but their heart is far from me, but in vain do they worship me. Okay, all men must be made aware of the real truth. Okay, the Educator, this dude here, has endured many years' experience of being part and parcel of denominations and discussing Scripture with their followers, and has become aware of a multitude of deceit and greed because of their pseudo-Christian doctrine, so teaches the truth about them as lessons. Yeah, so like, I just have a friendly chat walking down the road, Queen Street, Auckland, New Zealand, right? And yeah, they say, oh, do you believe in God, blah blah blah, having just a normal conversation. Some of them are really cool, get on really well. And when I show them the version that I have of the translation of the supposed original Galilean Aramaic New Testament manuscripts translated into English by a native-born Mesopotamian, right? These were given by Thomas to the church that he founded in Urhai, Edessa, now modern Turkey, right? Given to the priests, right? These original manuscripts before he went to India, presented them some, and was later martyred, according to Fox's Book of Martyrs, right? Dragged behind a horse or something, or boiled to death or something like that, pulled apart, whatever. He was martyred, right? So, from the original church, who hid these manuscripts for like 2,000 years, right? These priests hid it from the Roman Catholics, who would have like gone and destroyed it, or edited it, or put those people to the stake, or burnt them, right, to the sword, whatever, right? And Islam, who invaded, but they just wanted the land to give us stuff about what they believed, as long as they behaved themselves and they weren't naughty while under the rulership of Islam, right? So this Victor N. Alexander, translated, who bought a copy as a young guy, right? I wouldn't say he was a kid, but from a priest, right? And it was in the original language. So he translated it into using the Syriac. Was told, well, why? Because it was originally in the Assyrian Aramaic or Assyrian. So, oh my goodness, I have to do it all over again. Okay, and then he said to him, because the Syriac is actually wrong, which is what Angel Gabriel Roth at the Holy Aramaic Scriptures.com has done. He's translated it from the original Eastern Syriac Peshitta, right? That he obtained from the same Apostolic Orthodox Catholic Church of the East. That Victor N. Alexander apparently got that compiled biblical Bible book form, right, of that original text in the original language and translated it from. Okay, the priest told him, well, why are you translating it to Syriac? Because Syriac is actually wrong. Syriac is actually wrong. Yeah, so there you go. So what are the Aramaic and Syriac texts here? Just another translation. Like many other translations. These translations have been made directly from the original Aramaic text into English, bypassing the errors of the Greek original, the Latin Vulgate, and all of the other Western translations made from them. The ancient Assyrian Aramaic, the Galilean Aramaic, and the Syriac Peshitta on this website have been attested as from the original manuscript translations from the original Apostolic Orthodox Catholic Church of the East. Okay, so I was going to use this as a go-to website, and you can join and all that sort of stuff, but not many people have gone there. Right? I'm still working on it. There's a Syriac there, Syriac font. Okay, so, and I will ask for my Abi, my father, and he'll give you another. I think I might cover this. I can't remember. Power Khalifa, advocate who will be with you forever. So it's not like Islam. I don't know what the guy's name is. He's the Imam. He might have passed away. But he was saying, oh, that's Muhammad. But it's not. It's not saying it's Muhammad because he's not with us forever, is he? So they're actually like false, giving a false rendition, saying it's from the original language, right? Here it is in the Syriac. It's saying advocate, okay, the Holy Spirit, right? Yeah, I think I did cover that earlier. Anyway, yeah, so there's three that attest to it being is the Kabbalist Codex there that Andrew Gabriel Roth translated from apparently. In the margins they had who the scribes were and when they did it, when they started, when they finished. Apparently, you have to go to that website, check it out, AramaicsScriptures.com. Okay. So this is it was going to be a website where you could just go and look at it and join, be a member, whatever. But I thought, okay, yeah, okay, I'm not that great at these sort of things. So I thought, well, I'll just do YouTube. You know, you can put your comments up there. I mean, if you want to be a member or whatever of it, just say, yeah, okay. But it's mainly for a New Zealand crowd, but if it goes international, well, charge a lot of money. No, none of this TV evangelist rubbish, you know, rip you off and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, just one that, you know, you know that, well, this guy's a genuine dude, and he's not, he makes mistakes, but he's not trying to scam me out of money, you know, and with all this TV evangelist ways, you know what I mean? And he's not trying to pull the wool over your eyes, eh? You know, like, okay, you got these supposed original manuscripts translated into English, and then you got these like modernized versions, okay, and modern Americanized versions. Why do I say that? Okay, we had a KJV 1611 KJV supposedly authorized in the churches, so the churches are authorized to be read in the churches by King James, right, way back in 1611. So all these pastors and that, they say, well, that's the only one you can authorize to be read in the churches. But what they're not telling you, because they're not getting, you know, they're not reading it properly, the history, they don't know the history of it, is that in that period of time, okay, I think there's a king before him, I can't remember, it's been a long time since I read it, maybe King Henry VIII, or who was married to Anne Boleyn, I think it was him, and he was a nice guy and all that, but then he started losing it, because he got hurt, he got a bad leg or something, and he got hurt in a joust accident, got a bit of splinter in the back of his eye, you know, hitting his brain. He couldn't really pull it out because it was in his eye or something, a splinter, and it was causing him pain. He's just going mad, you know. Put her in the tower, and he married somebody else, and with that shenanigans. And then King James apparently came along, James Stewart from Scotland. He was a Scotsman, but the Catholics were trying to get in there, you know, because they lost the rule, right? They got the boot. They kept out of there, and they wanted to come to war because they had that one of their Catholic ladies, I can't remember her name at the moment, she was imprisoned in there, right, in the tower or something like that, and they want to come rescue her, but they failed and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so he started the Church of England, and he says, you know, it was authorised to be read in the Church of England, the Church of England, not all the churches in, you know, 2,000 years from there or whatever, you know, 500 years later. He's wasn't saying that. He's saying about the Church of England because they kept the Roman Catholicism out, right? And so people in the beginning of the King James were like, there's a letter, yeah, a declaration of praise to King James for, yeah, giving them this new English version, because it's all in Latin, right? And no one can read it. Only those priests like what's his name? Got a baldy on his head. What's his name? Like Friar Tuck. Martin Luther and that, right? They were like privileged, so they learnt how to speak, how to read, speak, write Latin, right, and translate it. That's why he became a reformist. He stuck the people weren't allowed to know what was written, so he sees these. Okay, the Roman Catholic Church is saying this stuff and this stuff, right? And he sees like it's different in the scriptures, so he goes pegs it up on a church door for all the people to see in English, or whatever he did, right? Yeah, he started that Reformation apparently, or he was part of. I think he started it by nailing it on the door, right? His mate did it, and he got not only excommunicated, I think he got put to the fire. You know, his own mate. This guy never renounced Catholicism apparently, and he lived on. And then he did a book on the Jews, the liars, and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, okay, I could go on and on about. Maybe I did another series, another video about the difference between this and your copies. Well, I have another video that I've actually put out that's actually longer, so maybe that could be another one to stick up. But this is on YouTube, not stick up as in give me all your money. Yeah, so it's basically promotion for this website, I guess. This is like a Time magazine or Life magazine recreation of what the Christ possibly looked like, according to people in that area at that period, all this sort of stuff. Yeah, a model remake, and he came up with that, right? Yeah. Here's another one on the site where a young lady had a vision, I think, and she painted him, and he looked like Barry Manilow. Yeah, and then this guy was giving her crap because she did another one which looked completely different, looked like those Jesus out of the latest movies. Okay, I recommend that to fully understand what I'm talking about in the site and that is to get off the high horse. Okay, we know all about L. Ron Hubbard and his crazy Scientology, but this is mainly left out of all the so-called full audio versions on YouTube, the reviews and stuff, right? They've left out the most important piece of that Dianetics Science of Mental Health book, right? Okay, because it helps you to study that book and understand it thoroughly, so you won't have any misunderstoods, undefined words, or no definitions for certain words. Yeah, it also I reckon it would help you with your study as well. Because most people give up study because they come across something they haven't got a definition for, and misunderstood, so they get all bored and angry and frustrated, give up. Yeah, it's a really good study tool. One of them. Yeah, being an ex Scientologist, well, I was only into for about a year Scientologist. Yeah, I experienced it, so I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I think there was this picture of this lady. Let's see if we can find it. There's all the TV evangelist scammers. Okay, some sources. They're basically some sources that I'm looking at. Okay, that I'm referring to. So let's see if I can find this lady that painted this vision of the Christ that she saw. Okay, where is it? It's here somewhere. If you want to be trusted, be honest. Okay, where is it? Here we go. This one here. This young lady, at 7 or something, she had a vision and she painted Christ as she saw him. Right. And she got a lot of flack. But it looks like she painted him. He looks like Barry Manilow. Bearded Barry Manilow. And she come up with another one. I don't know if I got it here. This is a guy called Polite confronting Scientology on the street. Got them removed. This is supposed to be the actual original, written in the original Aramaic. I think that's Andrew Gabriel Roth doing that one. A lie has variations, the truth none. African proverb. Okay, there's the Aramaic Bible and the Aramaic New Testament by Andrew Gabriel Roth. Two people that got this. One got the Syriac, one got the Galilean Aramaic from the same Apostolic Orthodox Church original. Right, there's a little ebook I did which never ever sold. I just like being creative and put it together. There's a Mesopotamian icon. We'll deal in a video about that because there's something that guy Victor N. Alexander is not telling you. I can tell you exactly what he means of this symbol on his book, translation of Genesis or Bereshit, the Old Testament. Yeah, okay, we can do that. That's what I was going to do in this one. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Sorry, I forgot. Okay, just get rid of this one. Don't need to look at me anymore. Except down here. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, here we go. Missed the page. Okay, this is basically this native-born Mesopotamian Victor N. Alexander. Okay, I'll show you some other shocking sham underneath in the comments that I found from other people, right? Okay, he's basically a native-born Aramaic, a native-born Mesopotamian Aramaic-speaking guy, right? Old man, right? Older man. Victor N. Alexander. Okay, and he had a website called vic@va.com. I came across it by accident. His theory of the Aborigine. The first line was it's nothing to do with the Australian Aborigine. That was just a term he used. and then I read on, and I thought it was quite funny. Had a chuckle. I thought, oh, some young guy playing a prank. You know, it was all about Neanderthal man, and nobody, a pre-Adamic man, Neanderthal man, and nobody's covered it. They all read his website apparently, but they haven't covered it extensively. No one's covered it. I asked him a couple of times when he was, you know, what, okay. 12 into why I said that later. And he, you know, I put a comment. Are you going to like talk about that soon? What you found in when you translated Genesis into English or Bereshit? You know, about a pre-Adamic man, Neanderthal man, and all that sort of stuff. In the supposed 6-day week of creation not being in the actual 6-day week or 7-day week, as we've been told it was in this modernized version, Americanized version, right? We all come to believe that, right? I'm tricked by that because of the ancient language, right? But this site is down, so I can't like really verify it. You know, go to it and say, well, this is exactly what he said. Right? I'm not talking through a hole in my bum, right? This is I'm quoting what he actually said by going to that site and showing you, you know, word for word what he said, right? Okay, so so let's have a look at this video. Okay, this one of the decent ones that I found on YouTube, because the other ones that I've got music in the background, you can't hear what the hell he's saying. I don't know why he made a weird video like that. It's so unlike him. Because I used to contact him through the email quite a bit, you know, to the point where I was annoying him, I guess. But he handled it. He's quite a nice old man. He had a few chuckles like, you know, where did I get that information from? I find the weirdest information in regards to the Aramaic, etc. online. He's quite chuckled, right? And he'd like tell me, you know, he'd answer my questions, and he was cool. He never got angry. He said, "Oh, you're a clown," you know, whatever, and troll me, whatever. He was just a really cool old dude. So yeah, I found this one, which is, you know, him, not insane, you know, not doing silly videos with music playing in the background. Yeah, basically the story of Adam and Eve from the ancient Aramaic scriptures. See, I can verify this is what he said on his website va.com, because I've read it extensively, right? Like to the point of being a fanatic, okay? Before it got pulled down. So I actually bought from him this copy of the translations of the original Aramaic or Galilean Aramaic scriptures, right? And it's really nice. He gave it to me without charging me postage and handling, you know, shipping, whatever. Yeah, so I got it for about 40 New Zealand or something like that. Went in a shop downtown, Auckland, Queen Street, Auckland, and saw it. You know, oh, how much for that, right? Oh, $100. I was like, what? It's made out of gold. And he goes, oh, it's just it never sells. You know, it's been sitting there for years. I thought, whoa, I can go get it off this original translator for $40, roughly, you know. So I did it, and then next minute the site's down and can't get hold of them. And you know, get the Old Testament ones. Yeah, there used to be a British Israel shop down the road from us, but I don't know if they'd ever would have had. It's gone now. Don't know if they would have ever had his translations. But I think you can get them online cheaper than Amazon. They seem to charge like $30 or $40 per copy, and then an extra 20 something for shipping and all that. So it's like, oh my goodness, you know, cost you like. You might as well just go and buy it from downtown Auckland for $100. In New Zealand money would be roughly about the same, close to it. Anyway, so we have a look at this. Okay, it's a bit slow to start, but I might expand it, I think.
Hello, this is Vic Alexander. I've been translating the scriptures for 15 years. I've already completed the New Testament and published it. And now I'm doing the Old Testament commentaries. So today I'm going to start with the book of Genesis, and I'm going to pick on one concept only, and that is the creation of Adam and Eve. So I'm going to read from the Saprabrita, which means the scripture.
What did he say? Sapriya. Did he say Lashana Akita? I can't remember. Yeah, I think he said Sapriya or Lashana Aktika, which is the old tongue, scribal language that the OT prophets spoke and wrote in.
The scroll of creation, which is how we call Genesis. It's also how modern Jews today call the first book of Moses. They call it Bereshit. So I begin from Ipaliun Allah, chapter 1, verse 1. Bereshit bara alaha yad shmaya yad arha. Barit Allah is also means son of God. And Bereshit means at the beginning, before the foundations of the universe. This term I have done a whole tape on just this one word. Bereshit encompasses the whole scriptures because bara is light, bara is sun. Bereshit means at the beginning, at the head. It has a lot more meanings. The word just made up 2 letters, Beet, Uresh, that is B and R, has vast roots and meanings in the language. So I won't go into that this morning, but I have done it already. I'm just going to go on with the other verses regarding Adam.
Yeah, as it reads in his translation of the Bereshit, or Genesis 1 verse 1, it says, in the beginning, you got the modern version, KJV, whatever it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was formless and without void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit hovered over it, right? But in the his translation of Genesis or Bereshit, it actually says in the beginning, the manifestation created the heavens and the earth. But what he says on his website or one of his other videos is that what it really means is as the beginning, right? The Msheekah, the manifestation of God, that which came out of the was hidden, not revealed, and came out of the presence of God, right? That was it was later manifested and revealed, created the heavens and the earth. So he was the beginning. As the beginning, he was the beginning that created everything. And I found what I thought was a discrepancy or contradiction in 1 John verse 1. John 1 verse 1 to 3, I think it is, where it says in the modern versions, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and that He created everything. Because in the modern version, Genesis 1 verse 1 is saying, in the beginning God, the Supreme Being, the Father, created the heaven and the earth, right? And then John 1 verse 1 to 3 is saying that the Christ, or the Word, the Logos, the Msheekah, the manifestation, created all things, right? And people were saying, well, that proves that Jesus is God, because it says the Word was with God, right? Okay, so that proves that He's God. Okay, so that's why I thought there's a contradiction between the two. Okay, because the first one is saying that God, in the beginning, God, the Father, created the heavens and earth. But Christians would say, well, that's saying, God, the Father, who is Christ, created the heavens and earth. Do you see the difference from the original Aramaic Galilean into English, right? But this guy says, well, what I see in English is that the Son isn't God, the Father, the Supreme. He's like something that came out of Him and was incarnate in the flesh, right? And was given authority by God, and He told the angels to treat Him as God, right? But I come to the realization that in the Eastern text, it's hinting at that He is God. But he said, Victor Alexander said, you have a funny way of seeing, you have a funny way of seeing Christ is God, not God, when it explains in the Aramaic language, the text that he actually is God in the flesh, right, incarnate. And then there's these strange things like he can be that and he can be that at the same time. Anyway, we'll get on with this.
Brashit bara Allah hayat Shmaya yadara. Shmaya is heaven and Ara is earth. Because there was nothing at the beginning, there was no time or space. So he created everything, time and space.
So according to this guy, if there's no time and space as such, then later on it would explain why I have come to the realization that there wasn't a literal 6th day or 7th day creation week. Okay, we'll get to that when he gets to it.
And now I'm going to go and read from the book of creation, the story of how Adam and Eve were created, how humanity came into being. So I have published this book. It's Genesis.
Okay, I'm going to pause it there. He's going to tell you all about this, right? But he's not telling you the full story if you do your homework and your research. Okay, this is the ancient Sumerian iconic symbol winged disc, right? The winged disc symbol, right? How he explained it on his website, va.com, right? Yeah, on one of his pages, that this is the symbol of the triune Godhead, right? Okay, so what he said was that in the center here there's a circle. Okay, there's obviously a circle there, you can see it, right? But in the center is a man, okay, with this is a skirt, right, or whatever, right? I thought it was like something to do with a bird, right? But actually, yeah, I think it's part of a skirt, right? This is a man of righteousness, because on his head he's wearing a crown, right? Symbol of, well, it's a crown, symbol of righteousness, right? Okay, so these here appear to be wings. This is called, when you translate the Aramaic into English, over the flames, right? So this man in the center here is supposed to be Christ, okay, or MarYah Ysho or Msheekah, Jesus the Messiah, right? Okay. Okay, and this circle, this completed circle, is like the love between the Father and the Son, for the Son, and the Son for the Father, right? It's a complete circle. So that would be, to me, that would be bi-unity, right? Because it's between the Father and the Son, two people, two beings, right? And that circle completed is the third in that, which makes it a triune. Okay, so it's a triune of the Godhead, triune concept, which means that the love of the Father for the Son, and the love of the Son for the Father, and the Holy Spirit, or the Ruach HaKodesh, completes that circle. It complements that circle. See, so it becomes three, right? That's why it's called tri, which is Greek for three. Unity, the union of three. Okay, triune. And these here are not wings, according to what he's translated. These are flames, hence why it's called over the flames. But if you go do your research the history of this symbol, it's ancient Sumerian, right? And this dude in the middle here isn't Christ, right? It's Ashur, or Assur, A-S-S-U-R, or A-S-H-U-R. He was a king of the Ashurites, right? The Ashurite people. When Jonah went to Nineveh and said, repent, because you're going to get the wrath of God on you, and all the Assyrian people there, led by this Assyrian king, tore their beds, whatever, the usual thing, clothes, and chucked dust on themselves, covered themselves in sackcloth, and threw dust all over themselves, plus their animals, and repeated, like the king says, go and bust up all these maypoles, idols of Asher, what's her name, Asher, what's that lady's name? Oh my goodness, I forgot their name. One of their goddesses, and yeah, smash them all down, because we're going to believe in this guy, because they believed everything that Jonah said. And then it says, well, go right down in these clay tablets in the cuneiform, and put it in this library. They created this library, right? Probably that day or over time, right? And they stored them in there. Okay. And old Jonah's sitting up on a hill, rubbing his hands, sitting under a palm tree, because it's hot. He needs some shade. And God apparently says in the story, don't you feel sorry for so many people? Nah. And he asks him again, nah. And asks him again, nah. So he got this worm or bug or what it was to eat that palm tree, and made him hot. Would have given him a bit of a suntan. I can't remember the name of the lady. I know it starts with A. I can't remember the is it Ishta? Yeah, sorry, it starts with A. Ishta, something like that. Yeah, so they turned, right? And the Syrians were like known as the most fierce army at that point, the hordes, the Syrian hordes. As soon as people heard them coming, they were like basically pooped their pants because they were so cruel, so tough and so cruel. Like cut people's heads off and put them up on a wall like a trophy, that sort of thing. They were the most feared, and all their kings were like opposed God or something like that, so they all got like knocked off up until around about Ashurbanipal apparently, and then he says, go get the great flood myth story, the creation, and Gilgamesh, I think it is, something like that, and and put them on clay tablets and stored them in this big ass library, which was they got invaded and it was destroyed, burnt, whatever, and then they rebuilt it and it got destroyed, burnt again, and then 1900s, I think it's Henry Leonard and his Arab friend unearthed it, and they found like 50,000 cuneiform tablets in that library, right? The remains of that library, and this guy got a hold of it, looked at it in a museum or something like that, and he translated because he noticed there was Aramaic underneath it, right? So this guy's not telling you, what they've done is they've adopted it and adapted it, right? They've changed certain things about it. I'm pretty sure I'm right there. You go check the history. Okay. These Arameans or these Mesopotamians have adopted it and then adapted it, right? Okay. Changed the meaning of things. Changed this from King Asher and all that sort of stuff. Because apparently, I think he said that Asher is the name of God or something like that. Referring to God. Anyway, so basically what Genesis means is origin or beginnings, right? Something like that. I can't verify that he said that on his website because his website's down. Can't get a hold of this guy by email. I wish I had have done the dodgy thing and taken a copy of his website and downloaded it and put it back up later. Yeah.
And there is the symbol of MarYah Ysho, which is the symbol of God or the Godhood.
Yes, he's telling you it's MarYah Ysho, okay, and symbol of the Godhood, triune.
Ashur with the sun, the wings of the Holy Spirit, and the Father in the bosom of the Father. So it's Ashur is the symbol of the Son, which is Msheekah, Jesus the Messiah, prophesied thousands of years before the scriptures were written. So I use this symbol because this is not a pagan.
So you have this one, right, the ancient Sumerian Mesopotamian one, but then you have the Zoroastrian one, or the Syrian one, which has, Zoroastrian. It has like a bigger figure with a ring, right, a ring, a circle of iron, or what it was, a loop, a hoop, right, and then it has like these chicken legs, these bird legs that come out here, Zoroastrian, right, and then you might, what's his name? Oh jeez, Ahura Mazda, is it? Symbol of Ahura Mazda from the Persians. Yeah, I think it's the Persians that get into that Zoroastrianism. Had a friend who was into that. His name was Darius. He was named after that king. Great guy. pretty feisty guy, but a good guy from Persia. Yeah, I think there's another one. Like there's the Zoroastrian or Persian, and there's the Assyrian, there's the Mesopotamian, Sumerian, yeah, something like that. It goes way back to the Sumerians on their reliefs, their carvings, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so he's giving you that. What's the meaning of that? Referring to Asher as symbolic for God, and the circle, that Christ being in the midst of the Father.
God, as some people seem to think, and I even saw a program on television that said that something about Anunnaki coming from outer space and all this sort of thing. These programs I saw on the History Channel.
Yeah, now it's going on about the Anunnaki. Okay, it's not a direct attack on this old guy, right? He's a really lovely guy. I enjoyed my conversation with him through email and stuff. Enjoy his website and his videos. It's just basically an explanation of what he's stating, right? What he claimed on his website and what he's stating in this video. He's going on about the Anunnaki now, right? That the History Channel with George Luperlupertus, what his name is, big Afro, saying it's all ancient aliens carved this and did this, and because it's so precise, we couldn't have done it with stone tools. It's all laser beams, all that sort of stuff, right? He's sort of like saying, oh no, that's not right because of these scriptures. But then you have someone like I've forgotten his name, the Italian guy, who actually was a publisher for the Vatican, who was commissioned to translate the ancient Masoretic text into English. He's an Italian, MarYah Ysho or something, and he found that underneath those Masoretic texts, or the common stories that you get told, that you find in the Bible, there was something hidden underneath it, and it was the ancient Sumerian Anunnaki coming to Earth and using their DNA and their genetics to make a slave worker, as Zachariah Sitchin claimed, and others, And another guy, he did the same work, not knowing that MarYah Ysho was doing that, right? Translating that Masoretic text, and he came up with exactly the same outcome, never having met or talked with MarYah. Yeah, so that's quite weird. Anyway, get back to this.
Talk about aliens coming to Earth and all these symbols of the Trinity, of Allah, God, and all this sort of the creation, everything is explained in terms of aliens conducting genetic splicing and creating the human race, etc., etc.
That's what MarYah Ysho is saying. That's basically what he found underneath those the Masoretic text, right? So yeah, but this guy's not telling you that what he found when he translated in Genesis was that there was a pre-Adamic man, and it speaks of the Neanderthals, right? Before Adam, before Adam and Eve, right? Yeah. Wish I could show you his site and what he actually said on it, as proof of what he said.
Now this is pictographic language. This is not paganism. So if the translation of the scriptures was merely taking an electronic file of one of the Bible translations and simply substituting certain words here and there and correcting some mistakes in grammar or in the word meanings or something like that, I would have finished the whole Bible by now. I would have published the whole scriptures. But my purpose is not just to make money. And so I have translated everything from scratch. And this is now beginning in the book of Genesis. So I'm going to read from my own translation, book of Genesis. Genesis 1, verse 1. As the beginning, Barit Allah, the son of Allah, the son of God, creates the heavens and the earth. This is the very first sentence, and I'm going to go to John chapter 1 verse 1. In the beginning of creation, he also starts with Brashid. There was the Milta, or the manifestation. And that Milta was with Allah. That manifestation was with God. In Greek, they use the word Logos. Logos is not accurate, because he was not just the word, he was the manifestation. He manifested Allah in every way. He was God manifest, you can say. And
that's what he's saying there. He's saying that the Christ was actually God. What I couldn't see was that there's a God incarnated in the flesh, but he's in the garden praying to his Father who's sitting on a throne in heaven. John sees him in a vision, someone sitting on a throne with a scroll in his right hand, and then he looks and he sees another after crying, his eyes out with it, because there was no one found that could open that seventh scroll, or that scroll, right? And he was told, like, look, and he saw another, right, who came and took the scroll out of the right hand of him who sat on the throne, right? And then he's on the cross crying out to his Father, Eloi, Eloi, right, who is up in heaven while he's on earth, things like that. He says to the young man, rich man, why do you call me good when he's none good but God, right? Or the Father, right? And stuff like that. But he says, well, you have a funny way of looking at it. Jesus is actually God, or Eoshoa, Msheekah is God. So after a while, I come to realise, studying it a bit more, that maybe this older man was actually right, because it's a different kind of mindset. You see, Eastern mindset versus my Western mindset. You see, so I couldn't really grasp the Eastern until I got to that point where spending time and studying this guy and talking to him, being mentored by him through email, that I prayed, got what I prayed for, to have that understanding. So I seem to have taken on an Eastern mindset. Anyway, I'll go back to this.
Allah was the embodiment of that Milta. So Allah, our God, was the embodiment of that Milta. So the two are inseparable, the Father and the Son, the Creator of the universe and Msheekah. So this is the essence of Christianity. And the expression of the Holy Spirit is their expression. Is what they say and what the scriptures are all about. So the Father and Son and the Holy Spirit are one. And now I'm going to read from Genesis.
The triune.
And I'm going to start just with the second sentence. And the earth was for him and by him, and the darkness was over the face of the infinite space, and the Spirit of Allah, Spirit of God, was over the layers of the water. Okay, I'm not going to explain all this. And then in the third verse, Allah said, let there be light, and there was light, etc. And then he creates, over the next 6 days, he creates everything. Then I'm going to go to verse number 27.
See, he just says, and over the 6 days he created, etc., etc. But what he's not telling you, he's not touching on, is that when he translated it according to his website, right, he says, well, it's not a literal day, right? He translates the word Yuma, which is similar to the Hebrew Yom, for day with a capital D, right? That, well, he said, there's no time and there's no space, it's infinite space, there's no time as we know it at that time, right? So the word Yuma, when translated from the Aramaic, the Assyrian Aramaic, Assyrian into English, is defined as a measurable period, era, eon, age, day with a capital D. Why there's a capital D there? Because it differs from day as we know, right? You go to World's Last Chance, they explain what a Hebrew day is. It's kind of weird, like 12 p.m. To us is afternoon, right? But to them it's early evening, and then from after 3 it's like mid-evening or something like that, and then it's like late evening, and it's evening, you know, between 9 and 12. The thing, the timer goes over, you know, 12:01. It's really weird. Like it's like early morning, middle morning, and all this sort of stuff. It's kind of weird. You have to go to you have to go to World's Last Chance and check out what they define as a Hebrew day, because it's a solar lunar cycle, right? The fourth day, like you got the moon and the sun and that. You know, the moon's the light during the darkness, and the sun's the light during the day, and all this sort of stuff, right? So they base everything on the lunar solar calendar, the Creator's calendar, or the Hebrew calendar. Yeah, not a Julian or Gregorian calendar that we have today, which is promoted by the Roman Catholic Church. And everybody bases their Sabbath on set days, or Saturdays of every month, right? And they say, oh yeah, the original Sabbath was on a Saturday, you know, or no, that's rubbish, because Christ died and nailed that law to the cross, and we all worship him because of the day he rose was a Sunday, you know, all this sort of stuff. So they fight over that. Okay? But according to this World Last Chance, it's you had to, every month you have to watch out for the crescent moon, right, up in the night sky on the 29th. If you couldn't see it on the 29th, you have an additional day, the 30th, right? You should see it by then. And then the next day is the new moon day, right? And you see a full moon or whatever, right? And that's just like, it's not a Sabbath or anything like that. It's just the new moon day, right? And then you got to work like 6 days, right? Do all your usual stuff, labor, whatever, for 6 days. And then the 7th day, right? Well, you got the preparation day on the 6th day, so you got to do all your work on that day before the sun goes down, right? Before sunset, because then, you know, once it's gone down and it's dark, it's considered the Sabbath, right? It's regarded as a Sabbath, right? And it ends on the Sunday, you know, when the sun comes up, right? Sabbath's over. So you couldn't do any work on the Sabbath, so you had a preparation day. You prepared all your meals, done your housework, cleaned it up, whatever. You know, stopped talking your business and stuff, you know, and you just totally reflected on God, and we're grateful that He did this, He did that, you know, created the day, and you know, you're alive and all that sort of stuff. It's just a day of remembrance of Him and praise of Him and whatever, you know, according to worldslastchance.org or .com. Go look at that one. Yeah, and then they had a breakaway saying, no, you're wrong, because they said, you know, every you work 6 days and you have preparation day, then the 7th day is the Sabbath, right? Which falls on every month. It should be the second. Okay, no, sorry. The 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, is it? Hang on, let me get this right. Yeah, okay, you got the new moon day on the 1st, right? The next day is not a Sabbath, which is the 2nd. So you got the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and then the 29th, right? And then there should be a crescent moon up in the night sky, but if you don't see it, you got the extra day, 30, because it only consisted of 30 days. The Hebrew months, right? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, go check out worldslastchance.com on that. They get into that extensively. So they say, yeah, the Sabbaths are only on the 2nd. Yeah, what did I say? No, sorry, not the 2nd. The 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, the 29th. And you get that extra day. And then you got the new moon day on the 1st. It's not a Sabbath or festival day, whatever. Right? Yeah. So yeah, basically on his website, that's what he's saying. Yuma, translated as a measurable period, blah blah blah, right? So it's not a literal 6 days, because there's no time and, you know, space or whatever he said at the beginning of this video. Yeah, it's just, you know, yeah, hopefully that's not too baffling for you. But that's coming from his translation, right? And yeah. So yeah, I can't really show you proof according to what he said on the site because it's down, but just take my word for it because I've studied it extensively and no one else is touching on it, right? No one else is touching on his web page of that site, va.com, the theory of the Aborigines, you know, and things like that. Okay, let's go back to what he was saying.
And Allah creates the human being to resemble his own visage. He created.
Yeah, here's a killer. He's saying he creates him. He creates him in his own visage, his own likeness, right? He looked like him. Okay. Yeah, he just creates him from looking according to his own visage, right? His own likeness, right? And apparently they Adam and Eve were immortals, right? And then when they sinned, they became mortal, so they died. Yeah, they died the physical death.
Then, now this word is plural. He created them male and female.
So what's he saying? He's saying that he created both male and female first, and then later on he created a male, and then he created a female. Is that what he's trying to say?
Genesis chapter 1 verse 27 in Aramaic, ancient Aramaic. Ubara alaha la'adam b'salmeh. And Allah, God, created Adam to resemble himself, b'salmeh, his own visage, his own face, or his own image. Psalm Allah Barihe. He repeats this, and Psalm Allah, in the visage of Allah, he created him. And it goes on. Dukhur uniqwa barinum. Male and female, he created them. So he uses plural.
Yeah, I read somewhere online that they were both stuck together. You know, like you know, those twins that at birth they got two heads like that. You know, and then they're separated, and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, I had a little chat with daughter's friend about, you know, because what's Hebrew woman? It's from man. She came out of man. She came out of Adam. She was made out of Adam's rib. Okay, so she's basically, this is how I saw it. She's a womb man. She's a feminized man. She has a womb, right? She has paps or breasts, you know, filled with a certain type of milk, especially for that child that she bears. She gives birth to, right? It's specifically for that child, no other child, right? Or children that she has, yeah, as a result, right? Yeah, it's quite weird. Yeah, if you really look at the anatomy, you'll see that, yeah, womb man. I had a bit of a funny with a lady at somewhere I work, and she suggested that I hook up with this transgender nurse, you know, and well, it'd be good for you. You probably get on well with her. She says, no, that's a woe man. You know, it's a woe man, whoa. And she's like, she didn't get it, you know, being Pacific Island, and had to keep on explaining it to her. Then she realised, because she's like, you take it home and, you know, you make love, undress it, and something plops out, you know, whoa, man, you know. And she finally got it after a while. But anyway, yeah, so that's a whoa man. But yeah, if you ever look at the anatomy, you'll see, yeah, they're basically a feminized man, you know. So if anyone says, oh, you're a homosexual, yeah, I'm a sexual man. I'm a sexually active man. You know, homo means man. Sexual obviously means sexual, doesn't it? Right? So yeah, if anyone calls you a homo, yeah, we're all homos. You know, we're all homosexuals, we're all homo sapiens, whatever, you know. Yeah, because if, as I said, if you look really closely at the anatomy, really look into it, as I said to this young fella, stick your face in there, boy, you know. But you know, really go get an anatomy book, show him some stuff, anatomy book, whatever, you know. Then you'll come to realise it, you know. Yeah, it was a bit further than that, but I'm not going to go that deep. Yeah, just having in mind, but yeah, in a way, teasing him, right? But yeah, basically that. Yeah, it's a feminized man, a womb man. Yeah? But they've just been given feminine bits and got a different kind of mindset apparently. Yeah, so I don't think I want to delve too much on this. I think this might be an hour long or something. But yeah, there's things he's not telling you. He hasn't covered. And here we go. Look at this down the bottom here. Okay. Comments. Okay. This is from me, Clever Sausage, right? I've been studying this blog I came across by this guy Dan Steele, right? And this is what I put here. Okay. Found this, and I seriously smell a lying rat. Victor N. Alexander is alive. Make a mental note of this. Okay. 7 comments. Hide original post. Blah blah blah. Okay, Vic Alexander, a native Aramaic language speaker who undertook to translate the entire New Testament and a large portion of the Old Testament from the ancient Aramaic into English, is alive and living in Glendale, California. Vic's website, va.com, went offline years ago, and emails to Vic at vicva.com went unanswered. Yeah, that's right, that's what I found, right? As I often use Vic's translations, I received a number of inquiries as to whether Vic had passed. Even his residence in Burbank changed hands. It turns out Vic had health issues. Well, he's getting old, isn't he? Moved closer to his treatment centre. He actually said at the time of his website, it was up there, I think on a video, that he wasn't actually that well. When he did the translation, he couldn't complete the whole thing because he had to redo the he translated using the Syriac, but then was told no, it's wrong. Why would you do that anyway? Because it comes from the original Assyrian Aramaic, or Assyrian. So he says, oh no, I'm old, I've got to do it again. I don't know if I'll finish it. I'll probably die before I complete my work, but maybe he's not so worried because maybe somebody along the way will pick it up from where he left off, right? So I suggested, should I learn the Aramaic to do that for you? And he goes, oh nah, don't bother, because Aramaic language is too hard for you Westerners to grasp, so just trust my translation. So that's what I've been doing, right? So I regard him as a mentor, right? Even though he might not say, yeah, I'm his mentor. So I regard him as that, right? Because I've learnt lots from him, communicating with him about his website. So I'm not going to say I'm an aficionado of it, or whatever, but I know enough from phonetically reading it and studying it, and his translation in Andrew Gabriel Roth's hell of a lot. Okay, so it turns out Vic had health issues, moved closer to his treatment centre, and that treatment made it impossible for him to continue his website and translation work. Note this: I recently re-established communication with Vic at vicalexander37 at gmail.com. This information copied and corrected. His zip is 91201. From his LinkedIn com page is accurate as of the 29th of December 2019. Investor, billionaire. This is another guy writing, making a comment. June 2017 to May 18th, 1 year. And there's an address here. I found out that I'm the sole heir of Nimrod Alexander. That's his great grandfather, he was named after, right? Got his middle name from. He was the first CIA director who placed money under my name since 1906 and was assassinated by foreign enemies, leaving me a fortune which cannot be estimated in dollars and cents. I have converted that fortune to the benefit of all those who want to make the world a better place. Contact me at vicalexander37 at gmail.com. Okay. Is that a billionaire saying that, or him saying that? Okay, I'm not sure on that one. Yes, it seems Vic might have some residual cognitive effects from this treatment. He ain't no billionaire. Yeah, please do not judge him for that. Okay, so it is supposedly him saying that. Please do not judge him for that. Instead, please respond to this. I informed Vic that Duke had left a message offering support on Vic's story of Jesus from his own words Amazon page. Vic responded, thanks Dan, can you encourage these people to make a small contribution directly to me? Thanks Vic Alexander 1129 blah blah blah. Later, Vic responded with this: "Thanks, Dan. I will send you the book as I receive your order. I have to help Liv," that's his wife, "with some money. My son-in-law Donald Trump has prevented everyone from sending 1 cent. God bless Victor." This guy says, "Victor Isaac Alexander, question mark, question mark." This is what he's supposed to be had said. Is he that far gone he can't remember his own middle name? That it starts with N and it's Numrud after his grandfather, as he stated on one of his websites or his video, right? Is he that far gone that he's like imagining, making stuff up? Okay, VA.com has been removed from my peer.com account by US government hacker so as to starve me and live financially. But didn't he say up here like my son-in-law Donald Trump has prevented everyone from sending 1 cent? Right? And then he says some hacker from mypeer.com account, yeah, by the US government to starve him and his wife financially. Okay? And there's another comment: "I don't have any money to use a new hosting account. My Bible translation has been shut down by the order of President Trump, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, Pope Francis I, and the US government." Okay, that's what he's changed the story. And one last response for today: "Hi Dan, yes please, people can order directly from me. My VA.com has been stolen. Now it's been stolen, but if you send me about $100 I can repost my Bible page from another web hosting company. If it was shut down, how can it have been stolen? Clearly Vic has been affected cognitively by his medical treatments, hence the videos with overpowering sound, not like him." Again, he says, "I can't hold it against him, and his prior work of translation is unaffected. So if you have profited from Vic's many years' effort of translating the ancient Aramaic scriptures into English and would like to help him out now, please consider sending a contribution directly to him, or is it someone else asking for cash at this address? You can also contact him directly. Will you get him or Dan Steele or Associates? Because if he's that far gone, how's he going to answer a freaking email? You know, respond to you properly, right? Okay, if he thinks Donald Trump's his son-in-law and all that sort of stuff, because his wife is Norwegian, got red hair, and he reckons there's a battle between her and Melania Trump, who's from Slovenia. Go do your research online, history of her, right? And Donald Trump only married 2 women in his lifetime that I know of, right? Both from Europe. Okay, so where the hell does Donald Trump fit in as a son-in-law? Okay, he believes they are priced quite well, as I've bought a couple, and he was nice enough to post it to me free of charge. That's me getting his books. Yeah. He deserves to be compensated for his efforts, but I think he could get it by selling massively at lower prices, is what this guy's saying, that he's currently asking. That is just my opinion. Buy his books through Amazon.com, that's really expensive. Go somewhere else, they're cheaper. It will be a contribution to him. Of course, direct small contributions would help Vic and Liv. Amazon is expensive, that's what I put. Add up the PH and shipping rates and you might be paying US $60 extra for a US $35 book. That's what I found, right? I am asked, why Dan do you promote Vic Alexander's translations? He is a sole worker and by your own account the translations are full of typos. Yes, and he doesn't always include a footnote, he has an asterisk for. That's what I found, right? I put here, Mr. Vic, do an update videos so we know it's really you, not some guy shamming everyone. It appears that he's been replying, right? 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. Thank you, I appreciate the fact that many people find my translation of the Church of the East Bible useful. Send a comment to the Nobel Prize website. I hope I will win a Nobel Peace Prize in Literature for my scholarly work as a translator. God bless Vic Alexander. So is that really him losing it or what? Okay. Yeah, I actually spoke to a lady yeah, and she thinks there's nothing wrong with that. I said, no, I smell a rat, man. There's something. You know, if the guy can't remember his middle name, or either he's like totally lost it, or someone's posing as him to get money. Watch the video Jesus in Genesis 1, the first word of the ancient Hebrew Aramaic, about the first words, pictographs, tent, head, ox, teeth, bereshit, aleph, bet, resh, shin, yod, dal of scripture, Genesis 1 verse 1, which may prove that God wrote all, not men who made it up. It's made me wake up. That was ages ago, 2 years ago. Right. Some guy going on about the book of Jesha. I think some guy said it was satanic. What's so satanic about this? It's from an ancient old Assyrian Aramaic pictographs, text compiled in Edessa around 800 BCE, translated using modern Aramaic into English. Yeah, a few comments here. I've got this funny feeling there's someone posing as Victor in Norwegian. Alexander waiting for his next move. I'm waiting for his next move. Yeah, because he doesn't reply when you ask him. He doesn't reply, right? Well, he doesn't reply to me. Yeah, somebody needs to go and ask this guy, Mike Pompeo and Donald Trump, are they actually doing this crap? You know? What have you discovered in regards to the shape of the earth and the firmament? That in the translation it actually says it's an orb. Yeah, the earth is an orb. God sits above the earth, the circle of the earth, and we all look like grasshoppers. But it actually says in that translation in English it's an orb. Hollow cores, I tend to see it all as a flat with a dome. Yeah, well, you walk on a surface, don't you, and it's flat. Yeah, it's got the firmament, which is a dome, but the way they show the picture, it's like it's, you know, something off Minecraft. Weird. Yeah, I like one of those Christmas snow things. You know, you turn it over and snow starts to snow. Okay, yeah. This guy said, I've just found your channel, I've posted the following on another channel, you seem like an intelligent, sensible guy. Would you mind giving me your thoughts on what I've typed below? I think I've just been really silly. God said to send us messages for all to hear. I'm sure I've heard and understood, so why am I here? And he goes on and on. I'm thinking that listening in Aramaic, I don't even know how to spell Aramaic, will change anything. So why am I here thinking that listening in Aramaic, I don't even know how to spell Aramaic, will change anything? I'm frightened I've missed something, I guess. His word to me is love and respect, and so on and so on. So I asked him, would you be interested in my channel? Is it it's the info you are seeking? But he's not really interested. Oh, here we go, and here's a comment supposedly by him. My website has been taken down by the State Department because the First Lady Melania Trump and her son Barron Trump too made Donald Trump take the oath of office on the Church of the East Bible. Now President Trump is at war with the Southern Baptists because most of them like my translation work. I could be wrong, of course, because my son-in-law and I have a private feud over whether Melania is more beautiful red-haired Norwegian wife live Alexander, Victor and Alexander. See? I put nice to see him back. Seeing his books in the public domain, and he had a video on Obama supposedly praising it, and with his wife Michelle. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't know. I smell a rat. Okay, what's he going on about now? Different picture, like a Star Wars picture. I don't know what that is. Steven Spielberg ganged up with Queen Elizabeth II to prevent me from raising funds in order to make movies about the parables of Jesus and to disseminate my translation of the ancient Aramaic scriptures that I made directly into English without going through other languages totally unrelated to the language Jesus the Messiah, Jesus the Christ spoke 2,000 years ago. Dr. John Connell used to follow my translation work with interest also. As a Mormon, he was not adverse to my publishing my translation. However, as a Mormon and a full-throat man, he admitted his involvement in getting Adolf Hitler killed. But this admission led full near it's not this sort of crap, you know. Is the guy losing it? The murderous, corrupt and evil Queen Elizabeth II of England and the Anglican Church, Victor Isaac Alexander. See, that's why I'm smelling a rat, because he's forgotten his middle name, right? He's calling himself Isaac when his middle name is after his grandfather, Nimrod. Yeah, I don't know. I really smell a rat. Yeah. I don't know. And they're saying the Lord's Prayer in the ancient Aramaic was taken off the internet by the US State Department. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who is a Catholic, and the US Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts, who is a Catholic, and President Trump and the US government, as the US ordered the murder of MarYah Ysho, Mar Shimon 23rd and Mar Dinka 4, and ended the Church of the East Patriarch in the US permanently. And President Trump and his government took off my web domain www.va.com with the Aramaic translations of the Church of the East off the internet, and Trump's attack on Christianity as the dominant religion of the USA, so he could pursue his white supremacist attack against the black people of America, Vic Alexander. Okay, so I replied to him, so Trump's a racist, then him lifting and kissing the black kid on stage was all a front. So he doesn't reply, so yeah, I smell a rat. It was amazing to know from you that Allah, God's name in Arabic, is similar sound to Allah in Aramaic. Yeah, this guy's very interesting, I know, because in Aramaic, most Arabic people don't want to believe blah blah blah. So I put here a reply. While the word is found in the Syriac, your Arabic is the child language of the grandparent language Nabatean, the parent language Aramaic, Hebrew, Syriac. Your Quran is from the Syriac Quran, and it's basically the 5 books of Moses, or the Torah, or the books of the law. Google this. Yet he may tell you, as I found, he did via an email, Allah is a similar word to the Islamic or Arabic Allah, but it's not the same God. Why? Because if you don't believe he is the Messiah, the Son of God, then you have no part in God, as Islam or Muslims believe that he wasn't the Son of God, but just another prophet like Muhammad, who rejected him, so the Father rejects you. This Jesus states this in the Bible's New Testament. And someone asked about the black Hebrew Israelites. They aren't the Hebrew Israelites. How can you merge 2 different tribes into one, oil and water? You know? Put down here ages ago. Is anyone actually listening to what Victor is saying on the video, or reading what he has translated into English from this supposed original Genesis account? The winged disc icon symbol of Asher, the Son of God, MarYah Ysho Msheekah, erroneously called Jesus the Christ. The wings of the Holy Spirit, which aren't but are flames known as over the flames. Eoshoa, the man in the middle, prophesies to come, wearing a crown of righteousness within a circle. That is complete, representing that God and the Son at first biune, by understanding of the main 2. The love of the Father for the Son, and the Son for the Father, and the circle is the completion of that love, the complement of that love and bond, and the Holy Spirit, or Ruach HaKodesh, making it triune. Other images of this winged disc icon, ancient Sumerian, show Ysho in the middle with a bow and arrow. The Persians or Iranian version has a much taller man in the center and long chicken legs beneath it. And God says, let's make man in our image and our likeness. Then God makes man from the dust of the earth, and Eoshoa blows Nephesh or breath into his nostrils, and man or Adam becomes a living soul. He goes from being inanimate to animate, lifeless, to living, moving, and Victor is saying all of the animal genes etc. are in us. Here, then, he is only touching on the one Adam created, not the other, pre-Adamic, and it goes on and on like that. Okay. Here we go. Here, then, he is only touching on the one Adam created, not the other, the pre-Adamic or Neanderthal man, as he discovered when translating, stating that it agrees with science and the pre-Adam Neanderthal man discovery. Then he stops and does. He says God created all in the 6th eon, not day, and on the 7th eon, not day, he rested. Victor in his translation uses the Assyrian Aramaic word Yuma and translates it as era, age, eon, immeasurable period, day. As there was no sun or moon, so no day, as no 24-hour cycle of time as we know it, so time was indefinite at this time. Definition of eon goes on about that. Era, definition, age, definition. You see, so I've got a lot of comments up there. So yeah, put a lot of comments up there. Okay, how do you pronounce Yahweh in Aramaic? Please respond. God in the Aramaic never had a name, only a title reserved for sacred use only, referring to him as the Son alone, as Maran or MarYah Ysho, and sometimes El or Eloi is used. Christ's name was never Jesus Christ, but named as MarYah Ysho, pronounced as Ysho, Msheekah Ysho, for Westerners who find it hard to say Eoshoa, English equivalent Joshua. Okay, it must be an Assyrian. He is explaining it. There you go. Yeah, this is when I got on really well with an Assyrian, and she disappeared. She was really cool. She's quite surprised that I actually knew a lot about the Assyrian. Asher. I had a proposition for him, but he never replied, so that's alright. But anyway, hopefully you like that video. If you do, I think stuff up on me. If you like that, it's probably rather long, but it's basically revealing that truth to you, right? Revealing about this man and his translations of the ancient Aramaic scriptures, and then go have a look at Andrew Gabriel Roth on AramaicsCscriptures.com, HolyAramaicsCscriptures.com. Yeah. Okay. So if you like that, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, go watch this video yourself. I'll put the link at the bottom if I put it up on YouTube. Go check out my website here. Right, you might like it. Might find it interesting. Know the real truth, and that real truth will set you free. So yeah, have a great day. And don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumb up, and add your reviews, how much you loved it. And I'll see you when I see you.